magnificent bull. Yeah. So, the finale. You have to imagine King Ailill and Queen Medva lying in bed, and they've just discovered that Queen Medva is short one magnificent red bull. Her husband has a red bull, she does not. So they consulted the great druid called Google, and they found that there was a suitable red bull in the town of Cúchulainn, which is spelt like Coalinga for some reason. They had to have that red bull, so they decided they would amass their joint armies and march on Ulster. Now they knew they had surprise on their side, they knew they had overwhelming numbers, but they wanted one other advantage, and they decided that they would attack on the day every year that the warriors of Ulster were experiencing their birth pangs. I'll have to backtrack a few hundred years again and tell you. When they were building the great palace of King Conor in Ulster, which is called Eamon Macha, they decided to have a big fair, like a Renaissance fair or something like that, which of course would be a future fair for them, because Renaissance hadn't yet happened. And one of the things they thought would be really great was to have a race. They liked races. And the best thing, they thought the funniest thing that they could have, which would really just get everyone's spirits up, was to take a pregnant woman when she's about to deliver twins and make her run the race. That's what they did. And she delivered twins, and she won the race. But what they hadn't realised was that she was also a woman of power. So she laid a curse on the Ulstermen that from that day forward, on that day, rather, every year, all the warriors of Ulster would experience birth pangs and would be useless. So that's when they decided to attack. That's when they decided to attack. But what they hadn't reckoned on was this fella, Cúchulainn. And Cúchulainn was 70 years old, didn't have a beard on his face. No one thought that he was a warrior at all, but he'd actually been sent to the greatest warrior teacher of them all. It was a warrior woman from Scotland. Ailill and Medva's armies approach, and they find Cúchulainn not in birth pangs, but in a battle frenzy. And he's standing in the ford of a river, and one by one, and then sometimes two by one, and four by one, but never army against Cúchulainn. They all go up against him, and he kills every single one of them. And when Gita and I suddenly found our complete life up in the beautiful mountains of southern Sierras had been upended, and we found ourselves sinking down, down, down like the Titanic, and finally crashing down at the bottom of the sea near a town called Bakersfield. I discovered I had to make the best out of Bakersfield, a place that's known as hot and dusty, oil town, and I began to hallucinate Cúchulainn in the shadows coming to get me. So I had to write this song. The song is absolutely true in the way that songs are all true, or they're simply not songs. And you can sing along on this one. It's called. So when Cúchulainn went to Bakersfield, he wept, he wept. When I went to find her there, I slept, I slept. I slept because I would not see the trouble I'd got in. He wept because deathlessness had overtaken him. I do reckon this is the best honky tonk lament ever written about a euhemerized Irish god. It's the closest I can come to bluegrass. But I did live close to Buck Owens Boulevard. Deathlessness, what could be worse in Bakersfield's fair town? All because I took so long to lay my body down. I lay my body down, at last I took my golden rest. Down in my golden mobile home, out in that golden west. They say he used to cowboy out by Coalinga way, that every rustler had to face Cúchulainn some dark day. Those dark days are over now, there's no one left to see Cúchulainn's mighty lovely bull, who we called Mystery. So when Cúchulainn went to Bakersfield, he wept, he wept. When I went to find him there, I slept, I slept. I slept because I would not see the trouble I'd got in. He wept because the deathlessness had overtaken him. of size, where 24th Street spans the river current widthwise. Down in that dusty shadow with that weapon in his hand, with a wish to rip my guts out and feed them to the land. Old as he is and trembling, he still has the strength and speed I know is necessary just for him to do the deed. Now I must find the strength and speed as night to light must yield, to take her home with me way down in Bakersfield. I slept because I would not see the trouble I'd got in. He wept because the deathlessness had overtaken him. Oh,